This VPS Game Time broadcast is brought to you in part by the Foundation for Vancouver Public Schools, getting kids to school healthy, happy, and ready to learn. For more information, go to www.foundationforvps.org.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Trap at Fort Vancouver High School. I'm Chad Young here with my broadcast partner, Owen Frazier, for a non-league game between Fort Vancouver High School Trappers and the Skyview Storm. Coach Frazier, let's talk quickly about the early season results and records for both teams.
Yeah, both teams are off to a good start. Skyview's 3-0. They have 3 really good wins. They've beaten the defending 2A Greater St. Helens League champion in Mark Morris, the 3A champion in Prairie, and then a good Lake Oswego program. Fort Vancouver has 2 good wins against a 4A Heritage. Their one loss was against Mark Morris. So they do have one common opponent. Mark Morris won a game here over Fort Vancouver, and then the next night Skyview went up to Longview and beat Mark Morris by 1. So if you're just looking common opponents, Skyview looks to have the edge in that, but we definitely expect both these teams to play well tonight.
Do we have a contrast in the styles here?
Yeah, I think both teams, I think both teams really like to get out and run. Both teams really like their athleticism. Traditionally, Skyview wouldn't seem like a really big team against a lot of other programs, but tonight they have a huge height advantage. Fort Vancouver has really one true post, and he's 5'10", so they have a huge advantage inside that maybe they're not used to using, but that's gonna be one of the keys to tonight's game for sure.
All right, you mentioned keys to the game. Let's talk other keys to the game. I know you spoke with Coach Ensley, and Coach Ensley mentioned one key.
Rebounding. Yeah, he actually said it 3 times. He said rebounding, rebounding, rebounding were his three keys for tonight's game. Obviously, when you look at Skyview's roster, even though, and we'll talk about the couple of guys that are out tonight, even though they're missing one of their big athletics post players in Cole Grossman, they still have Samad Hector at 6'5". They still got Lowell Dunmire at 6'5". So they have a nice size advantage. And for Fort Vancouver, they'll start 5 guards. They don't have a true post player. And so it's going to be really, really hard for them to keep Skyview off the boards, and that's definitely going to be the key to the game.
So really blocking out an absolute critical component of Fort Vancouver High School's success tonight.
Yeah, and sometimes, you're able to get away with it a little bit if you can turn the other team over. And then if you keep them from getting a shot, you don't even have to get a rebound. But obviously, when those shots do go up, they're going to have to find a body to block out. They're going to have to really scrap for every loose ball and make sure all those 50-50 balls go their way.
So, of course, Skyview knows that they have the height advantage. I'm sure that they're going to be looking to crash offensive rebound, pass off the glass kind of style of play. Yeah,
as much as Coach Ensley knows that they're the key to the game is rebounding, Coach Grueller knows the same thing. And I'm sure, like you mentioned, they're going to send guys to the glass. They're going to really force Fort to block them out and to get defensive rebounds and punish them when they do get those offensive boards. In last year's game, Fort Vancouver dominated in the first half. They shot the ball really well. They were able to turn Skyview over. And then in the second half, Skyview came roaring back by just killing Fort Vancouver on the glass. At the end, Fort Vancouver was able to barely hang on and win the game. But I think that's something that really showed for Skyview what the blueprint for them was going to be able to beat this team.
Now, I know the Skyview Storm do have a couple of guys out, key players. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Cole Grossman is a high-level Division I football recruit, 6'5" post player. He's averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds a game, so that's an important piece for them to not have tonight. And so that's something that will definitely play a factor. And then KB Fezahazian, one of their seniors, their other captain, along with Grossman, rolled his ankle just the other day, and he's out tonight. So Skyview's a team that's really deep. They play all 12 of their guys. They've played all 12 of their guys in every game they've had this year. So this is something where they're definitely going to use their depth tonight.
And a big win over Lake Oswego for Skyview recently. High-quality program. They've had some big wins.
Yeah, they've definitely shown that they are a team on the rise and that they are ready to make a run in a very, very good 4A Greater St. Helens League this year.
And here we are. We're approaching the national anthem. We'll go quiet here and we'll rejoin you on the backside of the anthem. Looks like we do have a few minutes before, or a few seconds before the anthem. Anything else that Coach Ensley told you is keys to the game, Coach?
I think, other than the rebounding, it's obviously going to be containing Schumacher. With Grossman out, Schumacher's really their scorer. He's someone who he's putting up about 17 points a game, so he's going to be a focus for them.
Like we had the flag salute there, and everybody standing and respecting that. That was good to see. Coach, we're just a few moments out from the starters here. You talked about a couple starters out, and you talked about the depth. How many players does Fort Vancouver High School bring off the bench?
Yeah, they're a team that's really young. They don't use a ton of guys. They've only got 8 and 10 suited up tonight, so it'll be something for them that they're gonna be in a disadvantage. There's Schumacher, like we said, he's about 17 points a game. He's someone that's he's getting some high-level college looks as a junior, has a chance to to have a really good career.
Looks like a pretty long, lean athlete.
Kyle Grueller is Coach Matt Grueller from Skyview's son. He's a sophomore. I talked a little bit to Coach Grueller about what that's been like, having his son on his team, and as someone who played for his dad growing up a lot, I can definitely relate to that and what that's like for both a coach and as an athlete.
Comes Dakota Jones out for the Trappers. 5'8" senior. James Husband Jr., another 5'8" player, junior. Here's Johnny Green at 6'2", the largest Fort Vancouver High School player, and he's playing guard for them. There's Travis Huffman, 6-foot guard, junior, and Jameel Borton.
Jamil's the key for the Trappers. He's their best scorer. He's averaging 20 points a game. He can score in a variety of ways. He's good at attacking the basket. He can shoot, and he's also their best on-ball defender. If you were going to pick an MVP or a key player for Fort Vancouver, it would definitely be Jameel.
Does he play all 32 tonight?
Yeah, Coach Ensley is not typically worried about how many minutes his guys play. He's going to ride those guys out. He knows he's got 3 really good players in Green, Morton, and Husband. The only thing that happens sometimes is those guys will get into foul trouble, and that's one of the, I would say, the other keys for Fort Vancouver is those 3 guys have to stay on the floor and they have to play well.
Looks like tipping off here is 6'2" Johnny Green for the Trappers and Samad Hector, 6'5" for Skyview. You can see the size advantage already, and we haven't even tipped off. Here we go. There's Alex Schumacher bringing the ball up. James Husband covered him. Swings it over up top to Mr. Grueller's son. That's Kyle Grueller, number 23, inside. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, that was Lowell Dunmeyer. I had the wrong guy there. Lowell Dunmeyer, 6'5", crashing the glass. Here's James Husband. Looks like a half-court trap by Skyview.
Yeah, Skyview is an athletic team, and just because they have a size advantage doesn't mean they're going to stop doing what they do. And they like to press. They like to try and create turnovers and get out and run.
Nice crossover there, out of bounds. Trappers ball. Jovan Sewell on defense. Johnny Green crossing him over, bounces off his knee out of bounds, it looked like. They called it to the Trappers. Now a little bit of a discussion between the officials on the baseline. It is staying with the Trappers. James Husband Jr. inbounds it.
Yeah, that's just good officiating right there. Come together. Here's what I saw. What did you see? How did you feel about your angle? The underneath official obviously felt like he saw the play well and stuck with his call.
James Husband rebounding. Nice scrappy play by the Trappers there after the miss. Going full court trap there. Missed the steal at the center line. Over there and in, left hand by Lowell Dunmeyer, loses control, rebound by the Trappers. Good shot by Johnny Green. Goes in.
Yeah, Johnny's a really impressive athlete, versatile. He can score in a variety of ways as well. As we see the Trappers get out and get a steal.
Huffman with the steal, throws it away, gives it back to the Storm. They are getting after it.
Yeah, there's obviously some give and take when you play the style that Fort Vancouver does. When you try and get up and down, you're going to take some chances. You're going to have some turnovers. I think Coach Inslee would like to see Huffman maybe make a little bit more of an effort to get two hands on a pass there. But at the end of the day, this is the style that Fort Vancouver wants to play.
Trying to force a quick shot by the Storm, unbalanced, swings over inside, and number 2, Jovan Sewell, and he's hit on the head. That's 2 shots.
Yeah, and it looked like actually Husband got a pretty clean block there, but for Fort Vancouver, that's one of those things where you can't pick up cheap fouls like that. You don't really want to, especially if you're Husband, if you're Morton, if you're Green, sometimes it might be better just to let those guys, shoot over the top of you instead of worrying about getting a block.
Green at the line for the first of 2 shots, and the shooters roll. Storm are on the board for their first point. Misses the second one, rebound. You see the size advantage inside. Samad Hector banging inside, and it's good.
Yeah, that's the key to the game. That's it right there. Fort Vancouver's going to have to be able to get those rebounds. Hector did a really nice job of really pushing down low and going straight up. He didn't really, from our angle, didn't look like he went over the back. Looked like he just went straight up over the top and got that rebound, and nice job of finishing.
Kept the ball up high, didn't bring it down.
That's a good-looking stroke from the free throw line for him, too. He's at about 59% from the foul line so far this year.
There's Jamil Morton. Swinging it out, James Husband Jr. up top, Fuller down on the baseline, Husband Jr. back up top again. Swinging it over to Jamil Morton. Morton crossover, gets inside, left hand, rejected, but he's fouled.
That's where Morton is so tough. He has an ability to get to the basket. He's got really good body control when he gets there. He knows how to get contact, but also be able to still get the ball up and finish. So nice job by him of attacking the glass, and every time they get in there, there's going to be some Skyview players with some length that are going to contest those shots. And so nice job by Morton of not only getting to the basket, but then drawing the contact when he got there.
Misses both ends on the free throw. Hector with the board, bringing it up is Alex Schumacher, swinging it down low to Jovan Sewell, takes it inside. Looks like he had an open lane, passed it off. Recovered by Johnny Green, pushing it up the court. James Husband Jr. getting inside. Deep 3, Jamil Morton off the rim, rebounded by Schumacher, pushing it up strong. Fuller in, all the way, left hand layup, tough shot.
Yeah, like we said, Schumacher's a really good player. He showed him that, going the whole length of the court, laying it up with his left hand. That's a nice play.
Johnny Green inside again, blocked again by Samad Hector. No foul this time. Schumacher pushing it up. He is taking it in, kicks it outside. 23, good for 3, Kyle Gruler.
Yeah, Gruler's, like we said, he's the son of the coach, and Coach Gruler played high-level college basketball at Division II at St. Martin, so he's definitely got the bloodlines. He looked like his dad shooting that corner 3 right there. His dad said, talking to him, he said, the one thing for my son that I want right now is just for him to start knocking down some shots. So I think that's what he wanted to see.
Morton off the bounce again. He's looking to take it to the hole every time.
Yeah, and we saw him get all the way to the basket on the first one. That time he was able to pull up for the short little mid-range jumper. And once again showing that he can score in a lot of ways.
Gruler gets it over with the left, and we've got a timeout by the Skyview Storm. Early on. Skyview 9, Trapper 6. Early impressions, Coach.
Yeah, this is kind of exactly what we were expecting. It's going to be an up and down game. Both teams pressure and trapping. Not afraid when they get that rebound to go. There's a lot of guards on the court, a lot of skilled players that can, handle the ball and pass and make plays. And it's been an exciting first 4 minutes.
And you can really see the fundamentals on really both sides. All the players are using both hands, swinging the ball, sharing the ball.
Yeah, it's been really good flow so far. Both teams a couple turnovers, but really it's been well played.
4:29 left in the first quarter. Trappers 6, Storm 9. Skyview taking it at midcourt. Schumacher taking it out. Now seeing Schumacher, he's dishing it, looking for the other players, and also mixing it in, taking it to the hole.
Yeah, like we said, he definitely can score, but also will distribute.
Husband Jr. with a little bit scrappy down on the baseline, gets the board, pushes it up, kicks it up to Johnny Green. Johnny Green to Jones in the corner. Green from deep, off the mark. Jones with the rebound.
That was a time there where, and Coach Grueller said that, you know, just because we're bigger doesn't mean I'm not concerned about rebounding. And that was a time where Skyview literally just turned and looked. They see it again, not one person boxing out, every guy just thinking because they're bigger that they're going to go get that rebound, and it's going to get Fort Vancouver 2 more points. That's something that is going to be really clear to see for Coach Grueller, that their guys are just expecting to get the rebound because they're bigger and not actually earning it with a block out.
That was Morton for the Storm on that last hoop there. Johnny Green bringing it up. Pressured by Jovan Sewell. Rejected by Sewell. Storm pushing it up here. Grueller fouled in the backcourt. Jameel Morton with the reach in.
Yeah, that was just a bad shot by Johnny. There was no reason to pull up there. He really forced that shot, and he paid for it. Nice defense and a block from Sewell. We'll get a look at the putback there from Morton on the replay, but Zeke Block's going to come into the game for Fort Vancouver. Like we said, he's kind of, you know, he's their football kind of strong, stocky guy that's going to hopefully need to be one of their guys that can really get on the boards.
There's Kyle Grueller on the left wing inside to Hector. Hector with the kind of little baby hook, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Skyview wasted no time going to Hector on the block. It was really clear that they knew that when block gets in there, or when they've got that size advantage, they want to use Hector down on the low block. He did a nice job just spinning into the middle. There was really no trapper help. He got himself to the foul line again.
Beautiful stroke from the foul line.
Yeah, like I said, he hasn't been to the line a lot so far this year. He was 6 of 9 coming into the game, so 67% for a high school basketball player, post player. That's not bad, but you can tell that he's capable.
James Husband Jr. bringing the ball up for the Trappers. Extended pressure now by the Storm. 3/4 court trap, going into the half-court trap. Morton gets out of it, swings it over to Husband Jr. Husband Jr. off the bounce, and he's over to Jones. Pretty good court spacing by the Trappers here.
Yeah, they run a 4 out, 1 in, dribble drive offense. So you'll see a lot of dribble penetration, drive to kick to find 3-point shooters, and Fort Vancouver has lots of those.
5 left on the clock. Morton with the ball. He's got to get something up here. 2-1, and they don't see it. Shot clock violation.
A good defense there by Skyview. I mean, that's what you have to do to contain Fort Vancouver in the half court. Stay in front of your man, play good help and recover defense, and Skyview right now not really allowing for many lanes, and a lot of times when Fort Vancouver does get into the lane, they're 6'4", 6'5", waiting for him to contest the shot.
Grueller up now to Jovan Sewell. Sewell over to Schumacher. Schumacher dubs it inside to Kyle Grueller. Easy two. Great look.
Yeah, that's just a time there where Husband was late on his rotation in the press. He needs to get himself down there and get in position. And when you're just a half second late, that's what happens. You give up layups.
Up top, here's Johnny Morton on the dribble drive again. Great off the bounce, pull-up jumper off the mark. Hector with the board, getting it out to Schumacher, pushing it up, looking to push every time.
Yeah, Fort Vancouver hasn't had any really easy looks other than maybe the one putback. Every time Skyview's making them earn it.
Hector up top, looking outside too. Grueller misses it. Oh, and he got the call. I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's just one of those situations where if it's a foul, it's got to be a foul right away, and you've got to call it right away. As a coach, nothing frustrates you more than when the play goes and the official sees that the shot has been missed or that it comes off weird, and then at that point decides to make the call. That's something as a coach that always frustrates you. If you saw a foul, call a foul, but when you call it late, it's not a good look.
Grueller on the first front end of it, sinks it in. Looks like he has a beautiful stroke. Like you mentioned, his dad played at St. Martin's.
St. Martin's, yeah. And so Grueller's 80% from the foul line. You can tell, like I said, that he's a high-quality shooter.
Looks like we had a lane violation on the Trappers on that one. and they're going to get another shot out of you. Hate to see that.
Those are the things, you know, like I said, as a coach, where those little things can really come back to bite you when you're just not focused. And Coach Hensley's biggest things are attitude and effort. He wants to make sure the guys control what they can control, and that's one of those things where you're just kind of losing focus for a few seconds and it costs you a point.
Over to James Husband Jr. bringing it up. Three-quarter court pressure. Schumacher out the top. Got him stuck there. Nice look inside, and he's rejected.
It's a nice thing about having a guy like Hector is even when you're out of position, even when you make a mistake, he can come in and reject a shot and make all those mistakes go away. And Fort Vancouver doesn't have that kind of a guy in terms of defensively. So when they make a mistake, it's 2 points. For Skyview, they make a mistake there. We look at the block there from Hector. If they make a mistake and they, you know, let a guy go by them, or they miss a help side, or they miss a block out, all of a sudden that can be wiped away with Hector coming out of nowhere for a block.
That's what that length does for you. It gives you that margin of error.
Exactly, and he's clearly skilled as a shot blocker. You can tell that he knows how to use that length to get that block without fouling.
Hey guys, if you're a Twitter user, you can follow VPS Game Time to get the latest schedule information and more. The Twitter handle is @VPS Game Time. We also share good sports news from around our area with that account, so follow us today, and we might just follow you back. We're back in action here, and number 3, Travis Huffman taking it out for the Trappers. You see Skyview extending the pressure further and further up the court.
Yeah, they'll run different pressures. They'll run a full court, they'll run a half court, three-quarter court. They'll trap right away. They'll wait till the ball gets over and try and trap the corners. So I was watching Fort practice the other day, and they were getting prepared for all the different types of presses that Skyview will use.
Nice drive there. A little bit of a wild shot by Johnny Green. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, misses. Hector with the board, thrashing about, gets it out to Schumacher.
And that's part of the problem is sometimes when Hector won't be there, he can, just the fear of knowing that he might be there will actually throw off the offensive player. And that was the time where Green actually had a lane and could have taken it, but kind of rushed the shot.
Husband Jr. off the bounce, gets the roll. Nice touch by James Husband Jr.
Yeah, he's had a quiet start, but I actually kind of like that because he hasn't forced anything. That's the first time that he really had an opportunity to get to the basket, and he took it.
And Husband Jr. has been starting here at Fort for a couple of years.
Yeah, he started as a freshman. He was, you know, one of their better players, and then, you know, last year Jamil came over and Johnny came over, and that's when the program kind of really took off, and they had a really good year last year, and those three together work really well. They play together all the time, and they have a feel for what it's like to play in the same backcourt.
A couple subs coming in for both teams. For Skyview, we have number 13. I don't have him on my program. Oh, there he is, Squeaky Johnson.
Yeah, Squeaky's a freshman, probably one of the best freshmen in Southwest Washington. He's a kid that's really, really talented, and Coach Grueller actually really praised his maturity and his leadership for a 9th grader. That's really impressive.
We also have Jacoby Thompson in, and for the Trappers in for Dakota Jones, we have Vinny Bennett. Skyview quick up the court into the corner, pump fake, and he's off the mark. Here we are at the end of the first quarter. Trappers 10, Skyview 15.
Yeah, I thought Skyview had a really good quarter right there. I thought they got a lot of what they wanted. Every single basket that Fort Vancouver made, they had to earn, and it was tough. And I think that was a good sign for Skyview going forward. Fort Vancouver did a nice job of creating some turnovers. They did actually a nice job of getting some offensive rebounds themselves. And although they gave up a few offensive rebounds to Skyview, that's going to have to be, you know, what's going to have to happen for the game. But they're gonna continue to play well. So I think we're in for a good basketball game.
It looks like the pace has been fairly steady. They only really made the substitutes in the last minute or so. We do have a replay coming up. Let's take a look here. There's Jamil Morton with a wild shot in. Schumacher with a smooth left hand. Zach Grueller from the corner.
And then Morton again. He had a good first quarter. And there's Husband. But again, you see he gets into the middle of the lane and he makes a shot, but that was not an easy two. And Fort Vancouver's really struggled to get really easy looks at the basket.
Jacoby Thompson and Chris Weber also went in for the Storm. Jace Chapman in. Jacoby Thompson with the dribble up top, over to Chapman. Looking in, swinging it around. Looks like they're giving the starters a little bit of a break with the exception of Lowell Dunmeyer. Outside to Jace Chapman. Now to Squeaky Johnson. Johnson with the pull-up off the corner of the glass. Pushing it, Johnny Green pushing up. Foul. Only the second foul for Skyview.
Yeah, and like you mentioned that Skyview's kind of going to their subs right now. We talked about how they have two of their key starters out, and so their depth is going to be pushed, and that was one of the things that Coach Grueller talked about with their teams that concerns him. He likes the talent and the ability from his bench, but they don't have a lot of experience, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to keep this momentum going, even though they've gone to their younger lineup.
Kick out to Travis Huffman, off the mark. Chris Webster with the board. Skyview pushing instantly up. I think I referred to him as Chris Webber earlier. Sorry about that, Mr. Webster.
We saw Skyview try to go right down to the block to Dunmeyer there. I think that's something they're going to keep trying to do, is get the ball inside and let their guys work on the block. We'll see how Fort Vancouver's going to defend it. Are they going to double? Are they going to try and trap? Are they going to just let their guys try and defend?
You have an illegal pick there.
And so, a little out of rhythm now for Skyview offensively ever since they've kind of made these substitutions. Schumacher out, Hector out. We'll see if they can keep it up defensively as well.
There's James Husband Jr. off the bounce again, looking to cross up his man. Push off. He's got, what did he get him for there? It looked like it could have even been an offensive foul. Did they give him the offensive foul?
No, they're going to call a block, which I saw what you saw. I thought it could have easily gone against Husband as well.
Yeah, Squeaky Johnson with the foul there. It looked like Husband was a little bit of a bow out, and the official called it the Trappers' way.
Yeah, Skyview's going to get Schumacher back in there. I think that's a good play.
What an inbounds play. Nice catch and finish by Johnny Green. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's a great job of executing right there for Fort Vancouver. That's one of the inbounds plays that they really like, that they can really get a good look on, and there's a steal from Green.
Schumacher back in the game, steal by Green. Green turning it up, launches from three, and he's got it! Schumacher bringing it up right into the trap. Husband trying to cover it. Pokes it away. They still don't have it over. That's a 10-second violation. Oh, I think they just missed it. There's Schumacher in the corner, covered by number 5, Vinny Bennett. Got a three, shot it, asking for the foul.
Yeah, Schumacher, getting him back in there was nice for Skyview. He wasted no time. He came off that ball screen. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He saw the defender go underneath the screen, and if you're someone with his ability to knock down from distance, that's an easy read. He put it up and in.
Zeke Block has it up top there. Schumacher gets his hand on it, out of bounds. Trappers coming back into the game now. Samad Hector and Kyle Grueller heading out. Jace Chapman and Chris Webster.
Yeah, I don't know if Hector's going to be off the court very much tonight. He makes such an impact on both ends of the court that I think Coach Grueller's going to get him a breather maybe quickly and then get him back in there first chance he gets.
Johnny Green definitely heating up here. Over to James Husband Jr. Throws it up, and they did get him for a shot clock violation on that.
That's the second one tonight already for Fort Vancouver. And again, we talked a little bit about a lack of focus. That's just one of those things. It's going to be loud in here tonight. We got two pretty good student sections. It's been a great crowd, so they're going to have to be aware of the shot clock, because sometimes coaches won't be able to scream at you and let you know. You're going to have to look up and see for yourself.
Schumacher struggling a little bit to get past number 5, Vinny Bennett, for the Trappers, getting it into the corner. Got him with the reach up top.
Yeah, that's the 6th foul already for Fort Vancouver, and when you pressure the way that they do, that's going to be something that you're going to have to deal with is fouls. But now Skyview, who's a good free throw shooting team, is going to go to the foul line for every foul from here on out in the half, and we've still got 5 minutes to go. So that's something that Fort's going to have to be aware of and make sure that they're not committing any silly ones.
There's Schumacher up the top, resetting the offense. Over to Lowell Dunmeyer. Now that's Jacoby Thompson up top to Grueller. Corner to Schumacher. Pulls up for 3, and he got it. Wow.
That's an impressive shot. He didn't seem in rhythm. He didn't get squared up. It looked like he might have gotten even tapped on the elbow or lost the ball going up, but somehow he was able to get that ball in.
Schumacher extending the pressure now. Green on the drive, off the mark, gets his own board, rejected by Hector. Out to James Husband Jr., covered by Jacoby Thompson. 25 seconds on the clock. James Husband out to Johnny Green. Back to Husband in the corner. Hector covering. Speed advantage by Husband. Up and down. Hector gets the board.
That was a nice take there from Husband, realizing that he had the bigger Hector on him. Got to the glass, but again, Hector was able to recover and get in there and maybe not block the shot, but at least distract it.
Big man up top with the three. Good looking stroke off the mark. Husband Jr. down low. Good block out by Ford.
Well, and I think anytime Hector's taking a three, that's good news for Ford. No disrespect to his shooting, but just the fact that keeps him out from being underneath the basket to rebound. And that's where he's going to be the most dangerous. And the way that ball came off the backboard, I think that might be something that Coach Gruler will address.
Into the corner, Husband Jr. baseline takes Hector again. Up, off his feet. Didn't have anywhere to go with it. Either get it blocked or turn it over.
Yeah, once again, we see the presence of Hector, and he's done just an incredible job.
Schumacher doing an initial job, covering well, but a little shake and bake by Schumacher gets to the hole.
Yeah, he's had a really good first half, and again, we've seen him score in a variety of different ways as Green answers, and that's a big bucket for Fort Vancouver, because as soon as Skyview put back in their starting five, Fort made a little bit of a run, and then now Schumacher and Hector are back in there. Skyview's on their own run.
What a nice dish by Schumacher. Takes it baseline, finds the big man open, easy two.
Yeah, that was a one-man press break right there for Fort Vancouver. If you're going to pressure, you better be sure that you're able to keep Schumacher in front of you, because he's going to be tough to contain.
Nice hesitation dribble, has the ball in a yo-yo. Here's Johnny Green up top for the Trappers. 18 seconds on the clock, resetting the offense. Over to James Husband Jr., open for the three ball, off the mark. Is that Fuller in the corner? No, that's Huffman in the corner. He has the ball. Out to Vinny Bennett. Bigger man on him. Quick dribble. Johnny Green from deep. Falls down. Hector with the vicious board. Push it up top by Schumacher. Lowell Dunmeyer in. Left-hand shot. Husband Jr. second rebound. We got a man down for the Trappers. That's Johnny Green. He looked like he might have stepped on somebody's foot, maybe a twisted ankle. He's got one left leg up in the air. Looks like he might have twisted the ankle, come down on a sneaker.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened on that three-point shot. He came down on the foot of the Skyview defender, and he is definitely in pain right here. He tried to get up and put some weight on it, but was unable to.
Now, we talked a lot about, off the top of the broadcast, about Skyview's depth. Now with Fort with 6 fouls, they've committed more fouls, and the hot hand, the best player in the first half, is limping off the court with the help of coach and the athletic trainer.
Yeah, this could be a really big loss for Fort Vancouver, obviously, when you look at the way that not only Green has played so far this season, but just in this game, and the fact that he's their best defensive rebounder, he's been their best playmaker tonight. Fort Vancouver's really just going to almost have to just be in survival mode for this next 2 minutes, hopefully get into the half, give him a break, and see if they can come out and regroup in the second half.
James Husband Jr. bringing it off the top, calling for the screen, over to Dakota Jones. Left-hand dribble, tightly covered by Schumacher. Backdoor cut by Husband Jr., doesn't get by Gruler. Little hesitation, pump fake, got him up, drew the contact, going to the line.
Yeah, that was a nice job of using the head fake by Husband. Getting to the line, and that's the thing with Skyview, doing such a good job of getting up and contesting shots and blocking shots. Using the head fake is going to be something for Fort Vancouver that can then maybe equalize that a little bit.
And James Husband Jr. looks like a very crafty 5'8", able to draw that contact.
Yeah, he's a strong kid. And you see his body and you know that he's someone that can take the contact. He's an excellent foul shooter as well. He's shooting, he's been close to over 90%, 93% for the year so far. So
Schumacher covered by Husband Jr. Look at Schumacher passing it up. We have for Skyview now in Sean Boss. Boss gets in the trap, timeout Skyview. Great defense by the Trappers, especially after Johnny Green coming off. They have kind of stop the bleeding, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a big basket for them, and then now that's 2 timeouts that Skyview's had to use when they've gotten in trouble against the pressure.
Hey, stay tuned at halftime for a special halftime presentation of Inside Vancouver Public Schools, the district's news show. You'll see a cool story about how a pair of students teamed up to make a special Rubik's Cube for blind students. Plus, highlights from Skyview's annual Tech Day Challenge, and a whole lot more coming up at the half. Here we are at the Trap. Fort Vancouver 19, Skyview 25. It's a very close game. Big news from the first half again. You saw Johnny Green limping off. He's on the end of the bench with his shoe off, and it doesn't look good.
No, that's not a good sign. He's got his head in his hands and in his jersey over there with the shoe off. It definitely. I mean, they could be going to get some tape to see what they can do, but I would say that his night is probably over.
One more foul, and Skyview is in the bonus. 2 more, and Fort Vancouver in the bonus. 1 minute, 45 seconds to go in the first half. There's Morton extending out. Sewell with the ball. Over to Lowell Dumbmeyer. Dumbmeyer one-hander pass out to Schumacher. Inside to Hector. Nice little drop step spin move. Easy 2.
That was a really impressive move by Hector.
Steal off the inbound. Skyview. Schumacher missed it. Pushed it up. Here is Jameel Morton with a little curly kneel routine. Great concentration and focus there. Husband getting the contact. Man, he's crafty and strong. Looks like he almost had his jersey ripped off.
Yeah, this has been a pretty physical game. I think the officials have done a nice job of letting them play a little bit, but also making sure that when we take a look at the replay here of Hector, of making sure that both teams still are able to move without getting shoved too much.
Husband Jr. in, out to Travis Huffman, over to the corner. Husband Jr. seems to be taking over. 3 ball off the mark. Hector skies for the rebound. No contest.
And that's my one issue with Husband is he tends to take some bad shots, and that was just a bad shot. It was early in the clock. There was no movement. There was nothing, and he took a 3 that he didn't need to take. And he's had a really good game up to this point, but then you take a bad shot, Skyview comes down and scores, the momentum is continued to move in Skyview's fashion.
Saw Schumacher on the other end with a tough 2, leaning, diving shot. Husband Jr. draws the contact again. He's got a quick first step, sneaky first step.
Yeah, nobody's been able to keep Husband in front of him, and that's why I'd like to continue to see him attack.
And here he is, a 90% free throw shooter, going to the line, and the ball has bounced up top, and one of our student crew members is heading over to retrieve that. We are a crew of mostly students here on Game Time Sports. Nice job by the student tossing that down. And Husband Jr. 90% from the line. Trappers down 10, but it seems closer than that.
Yeah, and when you play the style that they do, they're 1 run away from being right back into the game. Again, with Green out, it's going to be a taller task, but it's not something that they can't overcome. That's for sure.
Grueller looks like he's coming in. Sewell stepping off. Rare miss by James Husband Jr. Another rebound by Hector. I don't know how many he has in the first half, but he's got to be close to 10 already.
Yeah, to go with about 5 blocks and 8 or 10 points. He's had a really good half. Him and Schumacher have been the difference.
Schumacher, deep shot, no foul called. Hector, another big board. He's 5 inches. He's got 5 inches and probably 30 pounds or so on the Trapper center, Zeke Block, who's at 6 feet tall.
Yeah, and again, that's why it's good when Hector's underneath the basket, because he can continue to be such a force down there just without even doing anything other than going after rebounds.
I believe that's his first miss from the line this evening.
This is a big last possession here from Fort Vancouver. If nothing else, if you can go in down 10 or 11, but then again, not able to get the defensive rebound, but fortunately for them, ball goes out of bounds. For Fort Vancouver right here, I'd look for Morton or Husband to attack. Hopefully get to the glass, maybe kick for a 3. We haven't seen much from the role players tonight. This is a good chance for one of them to step up and hit a big shot.
Morton over to Husband. Husband off the bounce back to Morton. 4, 3, 2, 1. Leaning shot off the mark. Gets his own board. Misses it.
Really good defensive half from Skyview, holding Fort Vancouver to 19 points. Every shot they had was a tough one. Had a guy in their face. That last possession was pretty much what we've seen all half. Someone getting into the lane, but when they get there, having trouble finishing because there's just so many blue jerseys there. So I was really impressed with Skyview defensively.
So what we thought off the top was Skyview's going to be big, Port's going to be fast. That seems to have played out. Here's a replay package coming from the studio.
Yeah, I mean, we see Green, and he's able to make a circus shot right there. But for Skyview, everything came a little bit easier offensively. We see Morton, this is one of the best looks Fort Vancouver had all half from the mid-range. Again, they were able to get into the lane, but it was whether they were able to get an easy one, and every single time it was difficult. Another good look at Schumacher, just a one-man press break, dribbling in and out and through and getting to the glass, and then Hector was the other big piece. He scored around the basket and from the foul line, lots of easy stuff. So those two guys, Schumacher and Hector, were the difference for Skyview.
All right, we're going to head back onto the studio right now for some content from VPS.
Hey everybody, welcome to this VPS Game Time Halftime Report. I'm Nick Vole. We've got a lot of action coming up for you in the second half, but first we've got some stories to tell you about. Before we get to those, let's do our top 3 social media hits. Again, these are our top 3 social media hits of the week. Our number 3 comes from the Dean of Students at Skyview, Miss Damiano. She took a group of AVID students on a trip to visit colleges. AVID is a district-wide program that prepares students to not only get to college, but to do well there once they arrive. And our number 2 comes from the Family Community Resource Center at Houck Elementary. Their warmth tree is now available for students who need warm gloves and hats. If you or someone you know need a little help like this winter season, don't be shy about reaching out to your school's Family Community Resource Center or the front desk at your school. And our number 1 comes from the City of Vancouver. Like the caption says, nothing says holiday cheer like this face, that reindeer right there. He was a guest at the Reindeer Block Party in the Uptown Village neighborhood, which featured a reindeer petting zoo and drew lots of families out to get an early start to the holiday season. If you live in that neighborhood, there are even more events coming up. Check out the calendar at uptownvillage.com. 2 Vancouver students, good friends who go to different schools, share a passion for puzzles. As Amanda Richter reports, they use their problem-solving skills to unlock an opportunity for other students that they never had before.
Do you guys know what a Rubik's Cube is?
Ooh. Sasha Thomas had an idea. It began with his father.
My dad works at the VA. He works with blind veterans.
He also has a hobby. Sasha and his buddy Carson Maurer are hooked on solving Rubik's Cubes.
It kind of gave us this idea of bringing this hobby of ours to a community that didn't have it previously.
They reached out this summer to the Washington State School for the Blind. Like most cubers, Sasha and Carson rely on their eyes.
So when solving a Rubik's Cube, you need to be aware of the colors that are opposite of each other. So for example, you need to know that white is opposite of yellow.
But that doesn't work for the visually impaired, just as Carson can't use a Braille sheet to get an algorithm he needs.
I'm going to have to ask you to find it for me on the Braille sheet.
Right. So
You can't read it?
No, I can't.
Sasha and Carson's idea was to add textures to the squares, so students could read the colors with their fingers.
We have Velcro, we have like little raised foam dots, we have like hard plastic pieces, and we've talked with the students about which materials that they find to be the most easily distinguishable.
The result is a brand new experience for these students.
I've seen one before, but never really able to participate. Man, it twisted my brain really good.
Carson and Sasha are teaching the students techniques, but this is a learning opportunity for them too.
It's been definitely an experience that has been a pleasure working with them, but also a lot of information we'll take and we'll be able to improve it and make it better.
So by using their feedback, we can create the puzzle that works the best for them, really.
Slowly but surely, Oriane Fatim and her classmates are conquering the cube.
How did it make you feel to solve the whole thing?
Accomplished. Like, I can solve a real puzzle, I guess.
It also gives her a new connection to her puzzle-playing family.
I went home and I was like, I get to join you guys, ha ha. I'm a part of you guys, I have one too.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Amanda Richter.
Thanks, Amanda. Sasha goes to Vancouver iTech Preparatory and Carson goes to Skyview. They're trying to figure out what to do next with their cube, but it's already getting them a lot of attention. In addition to our story, they've also been featured in the Columbian and on KGW Channel 8. We are going to stick with kids making things using science. Every year, the day before Thanksgiving break, Skyview is transformed from a high school into a giant laboratory. The annual Tech Day Challenge puts hundreds of kids in competition to engineer the best solution to a problem. The theme this year, Back to the Future.
Great Scott!
That reaction is pretty typical once students learn what the big challenge is at the annual Skyview Tech Day. The Science, Math, and Technology Department puts on this event every fall. Students get in teams and have to solve a difficult task put together by teachers.
It's a chance for a lot of us who are interested in math and science and technology to kind of have a way to let loose all of our creative ideas and have fun at the same time.
This year, Tech Day is based around the movie Back to the Future. How do the physics and science in the movie stack up to real life?
I don't know much about time travel, but they don't. I don't know how a flux capacitor works.
Okay, no literal time travel, but the concept plays a big role. The day's final challenge involves a giant mat on the gym floor with 1885, 1955, 1985, and 2017 painted on like a bullseye. Students have to build cars that can glide down ramps and stop in each time zone.
It's all about adjusting the car's wheels, putting glider on there if that helps.
You cannot let it go past your time zone, so it's pretty difficult to figure out the mathematics behind it. A lot of math involved, and yeah, it's hard.
The day began with small challenges.
So the small challenges, students had to gain fuel points to power their DeLoreans. Need 1.21 gigawatts and 88 miles per hour to go back to the future.
Are you able to generate the 1.21 gigawatts?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. My group is. We're working together pretty good. We've got like a lot of gigawatts.
The teams that work together find success, just like in real life.
Coordination is key, making sure everybody's got something to do and that we're all helping out, contributing to the car.
This is a real opportunity to like bridge the gap between scientific principles we teach in class and collaboration.
Obviously, we can't make a time machine, but it's still fun to have very broad concepts being applied to fun activities.
Skyview SMT is a magnet program, and students can apply to be a part of it. The magnet registration period will open up after the first of the year. Now, over at Hazeldell Elementary School, they're also giving students hands-on learning opportunities. When we visited, students participated in what the school calls an experience lab. As you can see, this session was about earthworms, and it was presented by Clark County Master Gardeners. The idea of the Experience Lab series is for experts to teach kids about different jobs or topics, and for the kids to get hands-on lessons and gain confidence in a subject area.
I think it was really cool because when she told me, I really felt like I knew what to do.
Oh, kids are just always fun to work with. They're kids, and you never know what to expect.
Earlier in the day, kids learned about pollination. Topics at other experience labs include plumbing, emergency management, theater, and a whole lot more. The school's Family Community Resource Center puts on these events, which, as you can imagine, are very popular. We are almost to the second half. We're hoping for some good action here coming up. Remember, you can always keep up with the school district on our social media accounts. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram right there. And until next time, I'm Nick Vole.
I'm Chad Young with my broadcast partner, Coach Owen Frazier. Coach, quick stats for the first half.
Yeah, obviously Skyview played really well offensively. They shot 10 of 22 for the first half, so they shot equally well from 3-point and from 2-point. Schumacher and Hector really led for them. Schumacher had 12 points. Hector had 9, and then Kyle Gruler pitched in 7. That's 28 of their 29 total points for the half. So those 3 guys were definitely huge. For Fort Vancouver, they did a nice job on the offensive glass, actually, but they weren't able to get a lot of rhythm on the offensive end. Husband had 4. Johnny Green, who's now out for the game, was their leading scorer with 9, and Morton had 4. So it'll be interesting to see how Fort Vancouver goes forward without Green.
Bringing the ball in, Husband Jr. up top. And that's Jameel Morton inside, blocked by Hector. Pushed up by Sewell. Sewell on the right hand, takes it all the way. Coast to coast by Sewell. Easy lay-in, no contest.
Yeah, I think that's the big part of it right now, is you wonder about the morale for Fort Vancouver. They're down 10. They're arguably their best player from the first half is out. They come in, give up a block and an easy basket. We'll see if they're able to respond, but early signs here in the first 30 seconds were not good.
There's Morton once again banging inside. Sewell holds his ground. Outside to Huffman. Pump fake 3 ball off the mark. 3 Storm there. Fighting over the rebound amongst themselves. Here's Schumacher pushing up with the left. Over to the right. Loses control. Huffman bringing it up. Pushing. Looking to the left and Morton. Morton on the bounce. Quick dish. Nice dish. Rejected by Hector. With authority.
He's made it really, really tough. He's been everywhere.
Morton again, wild shot. Hector with the board. Pushing up, Lowell, Dunmeyer. Up to Sewell, kicks out to Gruel. Nice looking 3 off the mark. Husband up with the board. Schumacher sneaking around. Husband saw him coming. Outside to Morton. Looks like Ford has slowed it down.
Yeah, we'll see if they make any adjustments offensively in terms of maybe trying to run maybe some more sets or some more ball screens, because trying to go one-on-one really hasn't helped them a lot, because every time they get to the basket, there's Hector waiting for them.
Jones inside, surrounded by 2 Storm. Husband Jr. outside, 5 on the shot clock, pull-up jumper, got it.
Or maybe that's the answer. Before you get to the glass, just pull up and shoot the mid-range, because Husband likes that shot. So does Morton. Maybe that's the way that they kind of keep Hector out of the game. And that might be their best looks.
Dunmeyer gets it over, swings it into the corner. Sewell with the ball. That's block in coverage. Sewell gets the right hand dribble drive, easy around. Morton with the board, fights for it, gets fouled.
That was a nice defensive possession there from Fort Vancouver. Block did a nice job contesting the shot, no foul. Then they got the rebound. Hector a little frustrated, committed a silly foul. And so Fort Vancouver finally, this half is starting to show a little bit of energy and a little bit of effort. And trying to get themselves back into the game.
Morton bringing it across. Skyview, no pressure. Over to Jones. Blocked with the screen. Rolls to the hoop, covered by Hector. Outside, back out to Husband Jr. Sewell in coverage. Nice defense. And Husband Jr. off the mark. That was beautiful defense by Sewell.
Yeah, he kind of got off his heels a little bit. Husband thought he had an opening and stepped back for the jump shot, because that's what the crowd wanted to see, but he didn't have his feet underneath him, and he missed it badly, and Skyview now comes back and hits a 3 to put him up 13.
Gruler, easy stroke from the left side. Poked out by Sewell. Huffman on the bounce. Hector in coverage. Morton wide open 3, misses it, but he was deep. Huffman with the recovery, lays it in, misses it.
And once again, you see Fort Vancouver, even though there's nobody there, and that's an easy layup for Huffman, just the thought of Hector being there, and he missed an easy one.
Schumacher bringing it up into the trap. Morton, Jones, over to Dunmeyer. Jones with the rip. Misses it over to Schumacher, block. Backing off. Hector down low, double team, block. And now Huffman, he's just too big for him down there.
Yeah, that was a strong move. I thought Block could have maybe tried to go down and would have got a charge call, but he's a tough kid, and he took the contact, and Hector was able to get himself a nice look at the basket.
Timeout for Vancouver High School. What do you think Coach is talking to Ford about right now?
Yeah, I think this is a really good timeout from Coach Ensley. You know, they've definitely they're a little out of rhythm offensively, and so for them, they need to get back. They need to get back to sharing the basketball, get some open looks. maybe look for the drive and kick, catch the ball ready to shoot a three, because really they've done a nice job of attacking. But when they got to the lane, there's always someone there. So, working on the spacing and swinging the ball, see if you can maybe get something up from three.
Right now, Trappers down 15, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, now that the lead's up to 15, I mean, Fort Vancouver only had 19 points in the first half, so Skyview's got to be feeling really good about where they're at.
As you may know, Vancouver voters passed a bond measure back in February, and work to improve school buildings and replace others has already begun. This work includes replacing roofs, boilers, and other problem areas in schools. Ogden and Marshall Elementaries, McLaughlin Middle School, Vancouver High-Tech Preparatory are getting new buildings soon, and more are on the way. Stay updated on the progress. Head to Manistee Re-School. Sewell with the rip and easy lay-in.
Yeah, and out of the timeout, that's not what you want if you're Fort Vancouver. That lead jumping up to 17 and starting to get away from you a little bit.
Husband off the bounce, left shot, draws contact.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of getting to the basket and using his body, and he's able to actually get Hector to commit a foul. Hector now they have him listed up here with one, but I'm certain he's got at least two. If they could get him into foul trouble, that would be huge.
Husband Jr., another miss. He's missed a couple tonight.
Yeah, like I said, very uncharacteristic. That's just unfortunate for him. That ball was up on the rim and just kind of rolled off.
How much does fatigue start playing a factor?
It certainly could. This has definitely been an up and down game, and Husband has not been out much, if at all.
There's Huffman with the coverage. Sewell getting past him inside to Hector, misses it, gets his own board up again. Battling.
Fort Vancouver just has no answer. Hector's definitely been the difference in the game, and just not only playing well, but playing extremely, extremely hard.
Morton off the bounce. Huffman gets the bounce. Hector pulls his hands away. Nice touch shot by Huffman.
Yeah, that's a nice job of Huffman of using the floater, getting it above Hector. Nothing he could do about it.
Schumacher with the miss, gets the call. They called a block on that.
I didn't see the foul there for Schumacher. They called it on block, but
here's Schumacher at the line, really running the show for Skyview.
Yeah, I mean, everything's really run through him. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, and he's made a ton of really good plays and nice decisions throughout the game.
Dunmeyer out and Webster in, 6'5" in exchange for 6'3".
Yeah, we saw Skyview go to the bench a little bit in the first half, and it didn't go well for him. But now that the lead's got up to 17, Grueller's going to get some of those bench players in and try and give them some experience.
Sewell with the tough drive there, gets the roll. There's Morton looking to go one-on-one, dishes it off to Huffman from the corner, three ball off the mark. Gruel with the board pushing up. Dakota Jones with the foul. Oh, he gets the foul called. Hector, and I think that's three.
That's at least three on Hector. And that's another kind of cheapy one. He does such a good job of avoiding contact when he's underneath the basket trying to block shots that it's weird that he's picked up two silly ones. I really like that last possession from Fort Vancouver. I know it didn't. They weren't able to get the three to go down. But the drive and the kick for the open three, I think that's something that, they've got some guys capable of knocking down some shots, and that might be something that they're able to go to.
Morton with the shake and bake out to Husband, back to Morton. Looks like they've lost a little bit of the passing ball. Rejected into the stands by Hector.
Hector's going to be very close to a triple-double if he doesn't already. That's at least 7 or 8 blocks to go with double-digit points and rebounds.
As a shooter, you really hate to see your shots end up in the stands.
Yeah, but I definitely prefer being in the stands than him tap it to a teammate and have it go the other way. So it's really cool, and it gets the fans excited to have a huge block, but at the end of the day, you'd rather have possession.
The whole Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain.
And there's another good take there from Huffman. He's had a good quarter, playing a lot with Johnny Green out. He's a kid that works really hard. Is someone that the coaching staff really likes. Is someone next year when he's coming back as a senior and his role picks up could have a really big year.
Huffman with the miss there. And those blocks do get the crowd charged up. Skyview 43, Fort Vancouver 24. Huffman gets them both. Full court pressure by the Trappers. Vinny Bennett in the game now. Over to Chris Webster. Joe Bonsul bringing it up the left side. Hector from 3. Jumper is off. He hasn't hit a 3 tonight.
Yeah, and I don't, again, he's been so good underneath the basket that just, that possession doesn't make a lot of sense for me as a coach, and I think Coach Gruhler's probably a little bit frustrated with that possession as well. Fortunately for them, they're up 18, and it might not matter.
Husband Jr. over to Vinny Bennett. Bennett to Huffman, back to Husband Jr. Schumacher covering him. Little shake and bake, another block by Hector. 2 hands that time.
Well, that was a time where I would have really liked to see Husband kick it out. Huffman was wide open in the corner. We appreciate him continuing to go at the basket, but right now that's not their best move. He had Huffman if he would have just kicked it out for an open 3.
Couple of subs coming in for the Storm. That's Lowell Dunmeyer and Jacoby Thompson coming in. Husband Jr. has the ball underneath. They've looked good on these inbound plays.
Yeah, they scored earlier, and they've got Huffman open for a 3 here.
Rims off. We've got a push on the Storm. We're staying down here. Fort Vancouver ball.
Yeah, that's 6 fouls already for Skyview, so Fort Vancouver will be shooting 1-1 from here on out. And that's usually a good sign when you're trying to get yourself back into a game when you're able to go to the foul line.
Husband Jr. launching. And we've got Vinny Bennett with the board outside Huffman.
We talked about Fort Vancouver having such a height disadvantage, but they had 8 offensive rebounds in the first half, and that right there was another possession where Skyview just did not block out at all. When Hector's not on the court, they really struggle because they lack discipline, I think. When it comes to blocking out, they just kind of go try and be athletic and go get the rebound or assume that he's going to get it. And that's really hurt them because there is nobody blocking out whatsoever for Skyview on the defensive glass.
Fort Vancouver with the ball. Morton looking to go one-on-one. Pull-up jumper. Got it.
That's the part of his game that I really, really like. He's able to really gather himself and with his leaping ability, elevate and knock that mid-range shot down.
Thompson on the left side with the right hand, lays it in. No help defense there.
Yeah, and Fort Vancouver cannot afford to trade baskets. They're going to have to get stops. They can't just hope to score their way back in as we see Husband get a good take and an and one there.
Nice, and once again we see James Husband Jr. drawing contact again when he's going to the hole.
And it's way different with Hector out, and I know we've talked about him a lot, but as soon as he went to the bench, things changed drastically for Fort Vancouver. Both able to get some offensive rebounds, and there's just more to be had when they get to the glass, and they're given credit for taking advantage of that.
48 seconds to go in the third quarter. This will bring the Trappers back within 15. Full court pressure again by the Trappers.
And we haven't seen the same kind of energy in their trap that we saw in the first half. That's something for them to come back that they're definitely going to need to do.
Up Morton with the deflection. Schumacher recovery. Easy. No look dish in the jam. Lowell Dunmeyer. What a pass. And a get up and put down.
Yeah, Lowell's a good athlete. He's actually a kid who went to McLaughlin Middle School, lives within Fort's boundary, and is a kid that I know that Coach Ensley would certainly like to have in a white jersey tonight instead of in a blue one, but sometimes that's how things go.
Here's Schumacher taking his time up top, 12 on the clock, looking for a last shot here, Squeaky Johnston. Out to Dunmeyer, pump fake, looking to go to the hole, ripped by Morton, taking it in, pull up 3, off the mark.
Yeah, that would have been big if they could have gotten that to fall, cut the lead to 14. As it is, Skyview sitting really comfortable with a 17-point lead going in the fourth quarter.
Things really have turned since Morton left the court. Actually, Johnny Green left the court.
Yeah, that was a big loss, obviously, for Fort Vancouver. We'll take a look at some of the replays. For Fort Vancouver, Husband really tried to do his best to get him back into the game. You see him knock down the mid-range jumper right there, but Schumacher continues to distribute. You see him get a 3 for Gruler. He dropped the ball off underneath for Dunmire for a dunk, and then Hector, again, this is just a really strong move inside with a little contact, turning back to the baseline and laying that in. And then Sue got himself away. And then more from Hector, cleaning up his own miss. And I think at some point in that quarter, Hector off his mouth, I think he wanted to his mouth a lot. I think he took one inside. And that might be why he's getting again, seat of the bench at, or maybe the lead is on to 17. You're right, could have some blood that they're trying to work on. Here's Webster taking it out. Over Schumacher. Schumacher's awfully smooth with the ball. Alley-oop up, and he ran out. That is the longest I've ever seen for a whistle. That was not a great moment.
I'd like to get another look at that if we could. Schumacher at the line nonetheless.
Yeah, Fort Vancouver was off and running with that ball, and it certainly looked like there could have been contact, but when when the play is headed in the other direction, that might be a time to not worry about blowing the whistle.
Schumacher off the mark on that one. Well-designed play by Skyview.
Yeah, they came out, and you could tell that was something that Coach Gruler drew up in the at the quarter timeout. A little back screen lob for Schumacher. They were really trying to just bring the house down with a big dunk.
Morton with the 3 ball off the mark. Schumacher's got it. Inside to Dunmire, ripped out by Husband Jr. 3 trappers on him there. Husband pushing the ball. One-on-one with Schumacher, taking it in, up and under, draws the contact once again.
Yeah, Husband's been really good. He has not been scared or intimidated. He continues to drive to the basket. He continues to try and make plays, and he's had a really nice game.
As you mentioned, 90% free throw shooter, struggled a little bit tonight, gets that one.
Yeah, he's got a really good shooting stroke. To give the confidence, but here comes Hector, and this could be the time where Skyview's really going to try and put the nail in right here.
Nice to be able to have 6'5" Dunmire go out and 6'5" Hector come in against the Trappers, who have nobody over 6 foot on the floor right now. Schumacher with the screen from Hector. Hector rolling to the hole. Nice give from Schumacher. Doesn't get the roll. Oh, foul called. Baseline official right on top of it. Foul called from 25 feet away.
Looks like they're. Oh, they got it on Sewell.
Okay.
Or sorry, on Hector, and that's his 4th. So that's a big foul.
Looks like we are in the bonus, almost a double bonus for Fort.
And the scoreboard here has Hector with 3, meaning that would be his 4th. But it's going to be 1-1. Husband's going to be shooting. I think they missed a foul on Hector. They have him with only 3, but I think he has 4. I don't know if Skyview has something different, but they're leaving him in the game.
James Husband Jr. gets the first end of the 1-1. Trappers within 16, 7 minutes to go. They've got to make a run if they've got any chance.
Yeah, and again, if they're going to do it, it's going to be defensively. They're going to need to get some steals out of their pressure, and they're going to need to get stops.
Husband gets them bold, right down the heart. Trappers with the full court pressure, looking to turn it up here. Number 13, Squeaky Johnson coming in, freshman for Skyview. Officials meeting at midcourt. Timeout by Coach Ensley. So I think that's what he's calling.
Oh, so they must have had a uniform issue because Fort Vancouver's been called for a technical foul, and again, I think it's because there was a uniform number written down incorrectly in the book.
So we have number 10, Trey Cannon, coming in for the first time, 5'7" freshman.
Yeah, Cannon's a kid that they really like. Someone that's not only talented but works really hard and is a good student. And so he's going to be mostly a JV player this year, but they want to give him some opportunities because they feel like he deserves it, and he's earned it, and he's a big part of the future of the program here at Fort Vancouver.
I certainly didn't see anything, as you said, it looked like it was a uniform violation of some kind. Skyview bringing it in, Squeaky Johnson on the right-hand side. Up into Hector. That's been a good recipe so far. He gets a hook.
Yeah, Hector wasn't even really open. He just kind of flashed at the right time, but because of his size, they just kind of threw it up to him. He got it and laid it in.
Morton covered by Schumacher, gets the 2. Schumacher pressing it in. Really has a pretty decent handle there. He looks pretty polished on the ball.
And those turnovers are going to be big for Fort Vancouver. I think every time that Skyview gets down the court and the ball doesn't touch Hector's hands, it's a good thing.
Morton up deep, 3 feet behind the line, doesn't have quite the muscle.
Yeah, this isn't the time for Fort Vancouver panic. Obviously, they need a lot of points, but they still going to have to execute because Skyview's going to make them pay every time, and every single possession is so valuable at this point.
Morton bringing the ball up. Now we have another player, number 30 for the Trappers. Looks like that's Ivan Reyes-Perez.
No, it's Tyreek Cargile. And that's where the issue was. Okay. He's wearing 30 today, even though he's number 23. And so that's where the technical came from, was Cargile's wearing number 30. They must have put him in the book as 23, which is his actual number. So that's why we don't have him on our roster, and that's why there was the technical foul.
Sewell right up the gut, draws the contact. Trappers 38, Storm 54. Sewell going to the line. It's like Huffman's set to come in for the Trappers. Huffman in, and Zeke Block stepping out. Second or 2 for Sewell. Off the mark. Foul. Didn't see who it was on. Foul underneath on James Husband Jr. Skyview Storm. Jovan Sewell taking it out underneath. At a 1-4 stack, it looked like. Inside the scrum goes to Skyview. Battling hard in there. They had 2 guys in there scrapping for it. Chris Webster at 6'3" gets his own rebound a couple of times.
Yeah, new player, same story for Skyview. Still dominant down low. They ran a nice inbounds play. Webster got his own miss. He's going to go to the foul line now.
Like Gruel coming back in for Skyview. Webster gets the second one.
Technical on Webster now. I think it was something that he said.
Well,
I've never seen you rarely see a free throw shooter who, in the midst of about to take a free throw, is able to get a technical foul. I've not seen that before.
You saw some of his teammates pointing at the scoreboard. Like, he must have been, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you getting a technical right now, up 17?
And he is now sitting on the end of the bench.
And I would assume that that's probably where he's going to stay for the rest of this game.
Oh, no, here he's back in. He was on the end of the bench, and he came right back in.
Right, so the technical happened before the free throw was shot, so he's going to come in and take his technical, or his free throw that he was going to get before he got his own technical, and then we'll go to the other end and shoot two. I think. Or maybe we're completely wrong because he's now still shooting. Okay, and I think they've got it figured out now. We're going to move to...
Seems to be some indecision by the game crew here, and we're left in the dark.
Okay, yeah, they've got it figured out now. So now Webster will go to the bench, and we will come to the other side, and Husband Jr. will shoot the 2 free throws for Webster's technical.
James Husband Jr. starting to heat up from the line. Husband Jr. taking it out, getting into Jameel Morton. Out to Husband Jr., quick fake, Schumacher in coverage. Morton dancing, errant pass, Gruhl with the recovery, Gruhler with the recovery, rather. Sewell brings it up. Left-hand side, they are not in a real hurry here. Squeaky's got the ball out at the three-point line. Shake and bake, illegal pick. Gruhler with the block, moving pick.
Yeah, the official was right there. That was a good call. They tried a kind of a screen and a rescreen, and Gruhler didn't get back in position, and he got caught.
Trey Cannon with the ball, out to Husband Jr., pull-up jumper, Schumacher right on it. Gruhler with the rebound, Morton with the foul.
And again, I think those are the shots that Husband needs to eliminate if he's going to take the next step. I mean, he's averaging 17 points a game. He's clearly a really good basketball player. But there really was just no need for that shot. It was contested. There was no dribble. There was no pass. It was just a fake and a shot. And he's not shooting the ball well from 3 this year. And the reason is because he takes those kinds of shots. When he takes good shots, he shoots the ball really, really well. When he takes good threes, he knocks them down. But when he takes bad ones, that's the result that he normally gets.
Inside to Gruhler, has the size advantage, misses the shot. Morton and Husband Jr. Morton comes up with it. Morton pressing the ball up behind the back. Jump stop. Got it!
Yeah, Fort Vancouver got away with a foul down there on the other end on Gruhler. Come down here, and Morton, again, nice job of using the head fake. Got Skyview up in the air and was able to knock down the shot.
Over to Johnson. Hector playing catch with himself off the glass, misses it. Cannon with the ball up, out to Morton. Morton looking to drive in, takes the contact, no foul called. Tough luck. Schumacher with the bounce and jam.
Yeah, Hector's been great on that end, but that was without a doubt a foul and then another foul. Now Morton's going to get teed up, and this has gotten to the point where both student sections have been chipping back and forth at each other. Both teams have been chipping pretty well. These are a lot of kids that are familiar with each other. A lot of them, went to middle school together. A lot of them play AU together. And it's been an intense game, but there's just really no need for that for Morton.
No foul call on the first one.
He's clearly frustrated by the first one, but that's no excuse. He got the one right there. He's played a good game, and the last thing you want is for that to come back and play a role.
Morton gets them both. The Trappers now down 14, 4 minutes to go. Here is Hector on the other end shooting the technical foul. Oh, I'm sorry, that switched up. Schumacher's taking it out.
Which is probably the right move.
Schumacher pretty smooth. What's he averaging per game this year?
Yeah, he's close to 20 points a game. Like we mentioned, you know, he's someone that could be maybe a small Division I player. I don't know if he's on that level yet. I think he's obviously going to have to get a lot stronger. And I think that's one of the messages that Coach Grueller has given to him, that he took him over to a visit for Portland State and had him take a look at how big and strong and physical those players are on that level. I think it opened his eyes a little bit. But he's got a lot of ability without question.
Timeout by the Storm. Trappers down 16 here with 4 minutes to go. Is there a shot for them, realistic shot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think at this point you're really kind of trying to play for pride. I think if you're Coach Ensley, you're really trying to talk to your guys about, you know, maturity and this being a learning experience and an opportunity to compete, but also keep your composure and just continue to try and play well and get better. There's a long season.
Hey, if you love high school basketball, we have an early Christmas gift for you next week. Skyview and Columbia River resume one of Vancouver's fiercest rivalries in boys and girls basketball doubleheader. In addition to the hoops, the school's best ping pong players will square off for bragging rights at halftime of the boys' game. You can see it all next Friday, the 15th. The girls tip off at 6 p.m., followed by the boys at 7:30. Watch it on Comcast Channel 328 or the district's Facebook and YouTube pages. Both student sections really still enjoying themselves. It's good to see a good turnout for the game here today.
Yeah, it's fun. It's Friday night. You know, these are two programs that have played the last few years. Fort Vancouver's actually gotten the best of Skyview 2 of the last 3 years, so this is a game that definitely meant a lot for Skyview.
Grueller taking it out at the half-court mark, looking for Schumacher in the back court. Huffman D'ing him up full court. Schumacher easily gets past him, drives it to the hole, left hand off the mark. Hector tips it out, Fort Vancouver ball. Husband Jr. up. Schumacher with the D, contested jumper. Nice looking shot with great defense.
Yeah, I mean, Schumacher kind of tipped his hat there a little bit when he saw the husband made that, saying, you know, I was in front of him and he just made a good shot. And sometimes that's how things go. A good player is going to make a tough shot.
Schumacher baseline, left hand and in. Able to finish with both hands.
Yeah, we've seen him go left hand, left side. That time he went left hand on the right side. He had 2 takes in a row there. Put Skyview up 16 with just over 3 minutes to go.
Tonight's game is produced by VPS Game Time, a district-wide sports broadcasting program. You can see our crew tonight, which is almost entirely made up of students. We've got kids from a number of schools here working cameras, directing, doing graphics and audio, and more. They're learning what it's like to work on a professional broadcast, and it's a great learning experience for our crew. And we thank you for watching tonight. We've got about 3 minutes to go. The Skyview Storm up 16 over the Fort Vancouver High School Trappers. Here's Trey Cannon bringing the ball up, 5'7" freshman. Against Squeaky Johnson, another freshman. Here's James Husband Jr. pull-up jumper 3 ball. Got it! 2, must have his foot on the line.
Yeah, the official was right in front of that.
Sewell bringing the ball up. Not in any rush, working the ball around. Johnson, Grueller with the slip screen there. Jacoby Thompson out to Hector. Over to Grueller, now to Sewell. Working the clock down, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sewell baseline, out to Johnson, 3 ball, it's off the mark. Grueller tips it, Dakota Jones up with the ball, pushing, looking, head up. Husband Jr. off the bounce, got a man open in the corner. Huffman for 3, off the mark. Hector with another board.
Yeah, I like that Husband gave that up. Obviously, he's had a good game, and he's made some shots, but he did a nice job of giving that up to Huffman, and that's a shot going forward that Fort Vancouver's going to need for Huffman to knock down for them to be able to compete in the league.
Johnson with the ball up front. Grueller posting up down low. Huffman fighting him off, but Grueller much bigger, wide base, got low. Huffman tried to get around him with the foul.
Yeah, I thought both guys were just kind of fighting hard for positioning right there. You really can't fault Huffman for battling tough, and you know, he got caught with the foul, but at the end of the day, if you're Coach Hensley, you want to see him competing.
Grueller at the line for the 1-1, 2 minutes to go from the trap for Vancouver High School. Grueller gets the front end. Grueller hits them both. James Husband Jr. bringing it up for Fort Vancouver. Schumacher, familiar place, covering Husband. Pull up 3 off the mark. Hector with another board. Looks like he came down with a bit of a calf injury there, or a pull possibly. Grimacing.
Yeah, and this is a situation where, you know, up 16 with 2 minutes left, you'd almost like to get him out of there so that kind of thing doesn't happen in a game that's has been decided. You don't want him getting a cheap little injury.
Nice take on the baseline by Jacoby Thompson. Dunmeyer set to check in. It looks like he's probably looking to check in. Errant pass by the Trappers. Jacoby Thompson with the recovery. Schumacher taking his time, backing it out. They don't need any more points. This game is in hand. And we'd hate to see anybody get hurt for either team at this point. Schumacher picks it up. Grueller looking down low. Huffman with the steal, and looks like he got him with a foul.
Yeah, that was a clear foul there. Again, Tyreek's battling hard, but did reach around, did have a handful of jersey. Again, kind of fighting an uphill battle there, giving up 6 inches to Grueller.
Grueller, a 6'4" sophomore.
Skyview's got 4 underclassmen, two sophomores and 2 freshmen on this varsity team. So, you know, obviously the program is strong going forward. They're going to lose a lot in Hector and Grossman and Sewell and Thompson and Fezahazian when he's back. So, but this team's definitely going forward. They've got enough young talent to continue this program going forward.
What do you think about the future for Skyview and for the Trappers going forward this season? Both in the playoffs. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are going to be competing for playoff spots in the 4A. You know, Heritage is down. Battleground's kind of been down. You know, but Union has been really, really good, obviously, and they're going to be the league favorites. And then for Fort Vancouver, they'll be right in the mix in the middle. But again, with such a big height advantage they're giving up every night, they're really going to struggle to win on a consistent basis, more than just to finish in the middle of the pack.
Dakota Jones with the ball up top. 45 seconds to go. Gotta believe, oh, a big rejection by Lowell Dunmeyer, right into the hands of his teammate, pushing forward. Chapman inside of Dunmeyer, stolen by Tyreek Cargyle. Trey Cannon with the ball, finishing it up here. There's Dakota Jones with the drive. Dunmeyer might have got a piece of it, if nothing else, he's scared. The shot off the rim. Skyview just going to hold the ball here. They don't need another shot. Coach is telling them, hey, just run it. Huffman with the steal and the bucket. Well, Coach Frazier, this one is in the books. Skyview 67, Fort Vancouver High School 49. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, Skyview was the better team. I mean, it was really clear, the 18 points, but they dominated from start to finish. Obviously, Fort Vancouver would have liked to have had Johnny Green for the whole game, but at the end of the day, you know, Skyview played really well on both ends, and they deserve to win.
Do have some highlights from the game. Where you see both teams congratulating each other. We don't have an update on Johnny Green, but I did see him at halftime go off on crutches with his foot wrapped in ice.
Yeah, they said it's something semi-serious between either a serious sprain or maybe could be broken. That's something that they'll have to evaluate. but what they heard from the trainer initially was not good.
Yeah, he did go down right away. Didn't get up. Didn't see him put any weight on it. So I hope he's going to be okay. Didn't see Hector. I think looked okay. Got a little bit of a calf cramp. Maybe come down on it wrong. That doesn't look to be anything serious for them. Skyview got to be looking pretty tough coming down here when they get Grossman back and also Fessahazian. Got to think they're going to be fighting for a league title.
Yeah, this is a team that, like we said, has a lot of depth. They can score in a variety of ways. I mean, Coach Gruler's going to watch this film, and he's going to be sure that they're going to need to get. They're going to have a lot of ways to improve. They were able to dominate on the glass, but I think they can certainly do a better job of boxing out, because when they play the rest of their league schedule, and they're not going to be able to have this kind of advantage and be able to just get by on being more athletic and bigger. They're going to actually have to earn it a little bit more than they had to tonight. But there's definitely pieces there for them to be a contender.
You see on these highlights, really Skyview did a pretty good job sharing the ball, getting the penetration, and then dishing it off repeatedly.
Yeah, they had a lot of easy shots, and we always like to say that they call them easy shots, but they're not easy to get. Easy shots are hard to get. They had to work really hard to get a lot of these easy shots, but when we look at these highlights, we just see layup after layup after layup for Skyview, and they knocked down a few threes, but for the most part, everything they had was around the basket. And when you score 67 points, they made it look really easy tonight.
Right, and Port Vancouver High School really had to work hard inside for their buckets, relied a lot on the outside game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, everything was difficult for them. You know, they had to earn every single point that they got, and the two losses that they've had, they got really hurt on the boards. Their first game against Mark Morris, and tonight against Skyview, and going forward, that's going to be something that they're going to have to address. And it's hard because there's not a lot you can do when you're just overmatched size-wise. So whether that's trying to force more turnovers, or maybe if it's a toughness thing, I don't know, but it's something that they're going to be fighting all year long.
All right, for Coach Owen Frazier, I'm Chad Young. Good night from the Trap. We'll see you next time.
This VPS Game Time broadcast is brought to you in part by the Foundation for Vancouver Public Schools, getting kids to school healthy, happy, and ready to learn. For more information, go to www.foundationforvps.org.